the original work of the autobiographical novel 10 Years of Marriage by Su Qing, a female writer in the Republic of China. Chapter 2. Living under the fence of others' thirst is silent look. There are no pedestrians at Ellie couldn't help but have a strange feeling in my heart. Then it seemed as if the sadness was gonano sorrow ending in an indescribable emptiness. Need to find a place to stay, need some company. Applause for Sir been waiting for a long time. Hey, I almost forgot about him. Riv at his house. I hesitated for a long time, knocking on the door sheepishly, only heard a crisp voice replying, "Here it is." My aunt opened the door for me. Then my uncle also came to the head of the stairs. I feel sorry in the contrary. I don't want to see the madam. Please come to the front building and sit for a while. My aunt greeted me politely. We were still waiting for you to have dinner with us. Waited for a long time later. The street sweeper said you weren't coming. Why are my family so polite? I just shook my head and smiled bitterly. Couldn't answer for a moment, still feeling lonely. Sighed with emotion and consciousness. He can't blame his biological children for this. After all, it's hard to give up everything. It's always Congexian's fault. Speaking of which, he looked at me and were about to burst into tears, quickly changed his tone and said, "I'm finally free now. Do a good job. No is a world where men and women are equally. No, your article is very good." The tone of the applause and speech was strangely sincere. But I don't know how, he just feel like I can't stand it. What if he comforted me and said let's marry another person properly in the future? With your appearance and ever worry about finding a better husband than Before reunion makes me feel relieved and comforted. But what she keeps talking about is career. Did she actually think that I would never get a chance to get married? Not biased. So I pretended not to care and told Sean. Anyway, no more. It's none of my business. Know that we have made a clean break. As for the children, not really interested either. I thought the world was by there shouldn't be any place for me, right? There are many men in the world, to find someone like him. Not finished yet. My aunt has already stopped the police. She said, "Oh miss, who doesn't know there are always noisy things in a family? You are now an old married couple. Have you been married for 10 years? I also have 3 or 4 children. It's impossible to leave the eldest lady, but you can stay here peacefully for a few days. Wait until you calm down. Ask your uncle to find Mr. Zhu to talk about it. Let's just go back happily." Uncle listened, heaved a sigh of relief. It's not that easy to say that things are scary, right? I felt even more unhappy after hearing Thesey feel like it's always painful to be dependent on someone else. Just came in. They are already planning how to send me back. Me aunt saw me said, gave many words to comfort him. It's just that a certain couple once turned against each other over something. Later, we finally reconciled. Also talked about how a man from a certain family fell in love with Hu Tiao when he was young. After more than 20 years of hard work by his wife, the husband will suddenly wake up at last. Also said with certainty that if he had been married for 10 years like you, a wife with children, me husband still has the heart to abandon Methan your uncle. And speaking of which, he then laugh head with a pair of pretty faces go against your uncle and say, "I'm with your uncle." Wouldn't it be more likely to lead to divorce? First, we have only been married 3 years. Secondly, I have never raised a boy and a girl. All because of Yush. Suddenly blushed. Sorry to say any more. I urged my uncle to take a sip. Probably because my uncle likes to smoke a few puffs of cigarettes. Maybe it's because I don't like Womani stood up kindly after saying goodbye. My aunt was busy getting down to business. The eldest lady should be tired today. To go to bed early while talking. He led me to the pavilion. All I saw was gorgeous furnishings, a brand new foreign floral silk duck down quilt. There are 2 embroidered pillows stacked neatly on top. These may be what they overshadowed when they were newly married. Now it is collected and only reserved for guest application. I feel sorry just saying, scale is putting it mildly. I came here with my own bedding. It's better not to waste these valuable things. But how can my aunt be willing to listen? She claimed that he had already unpacked my bedding. Leave it to the old lady to wash. This makes me feel even more uneasy listening to it. Sleep in a warm bed. He tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. Lingling should have finished watching the movie or let her father carry her back to sleep. I didn't know she was taking off her clothes and going to bed. Dare you crying and clamoring to find your mother? If he really cried, Zian sounds Satyr get angry and want to beat him? No, it won't. Although Sean has a bad temper, but I never want to harm my children. He must have been coaxing him with infinite sorrow. Maybe after he falls asleep will he actually regret divorcing me? He will find my uncle's house to take me back. Hold I agree or not, at that time. Maybe I can agree if he carries Lingling and comes with Yuan. This reminded me that I shouldn't have wrongly blamed my aunt just now. He knows a woman's heart. Women have to go back and take care of their children and husband. Alas, who is willing to work hard, as my uncle said. Those who struggle and struggle. I wish that men and women should not be equally. Would rather a woman be a domestic slave for the rest of her life. I want to be with my children. But now it's too late to regret. Me tears are flowing. I let him flow as much as possible. I just don't dare to make a sound at midnight. This is someone else's home. I also had a home. There are good people in the family. There is an old mother and a queen mother in Lingaling Garden. Although there are many people and I don't have to worry. If you want to cry, cry loud. If you want to laugh, if you want to speak, speak. If you want to cough and spit, cough and spit. But now how could I wet my aunt's embroidered pillow with my tears? This makes me uneasy, nearly angry, and sure enough, I saw there were tear stains on it. I had no choice but to get out of bed and get a towel to wipe it with. At the same time, I feel regretful. When I got into bed, I try my best to control my emotions. Think we should consider reality. Can't make people hate me for how to avoid being disliked by others. First, I can't eat hair because I have yet to recover from lung disease. Secondly, I have to find a career quickly. Moved out soon. Jive my aunt to pieces of the most fashionable clothing. She never had to worry about it before. This is the place where Sheen's house is set up. There is no need to shy away from Zhang disease or something. He seems to never care about me. Sometimes I can't eat. After eating half the bowl, he started to drink. There are vegetables and fish in the bowl. He always takes it in a dirty way. He ate it for mesometamese Lingaling, and I have leftover food at the same time. He put the two bowls together. It was eaten quickly and tasted very delicious. These are his benefits. Should I think about him more? Well, you'd better fall asleep early. Had a dream at night. Dream about yourself floating on the sea, drifting up and down with the current. Sky looks yellow, no stars or moon. Cool breeze clears skin, feeling desolate. Soon I woke up inexplicably. I just want to cry. Does this mean my future is bleak? A vast ocean seems like this body. So it's like being so empty. But that's it. No matter how hard it is to look back, it's worth it. Going with the waves, be swallowed up or desire and blame lie in the unknown. Numbberry spent the night thinking about it unconsciously. The window was already white. Only then did I feel the need to urinate. But then I thought that the toilet was behind the barrier. I'm afraid it will be inconvenient to wake them up. I have no choice but to endure. Ithome is my uncle's home. The food is all uncle's food. Me bedding, suitcase, etc. I don't know where they put it all. I was looking for a vessel to hold water but no spittoon. There is a beautiful basin on the dressing table. I thought I'd use it to pee, fall down from the window, but after careful consideration I'm always afraid that by chance I'll be handed over to someone else. Want to make a joke? Just lie still and don't move. Just try to endure it a little longer. It's 6 o'clock. There was still no movement from the people above. I had no choice but to curl up and lie down. Continue to be patient. 6:15. I'm tighter in the whole area. In the end, it was really unbearable. I had to put on my clothes and get out of bed, stand gently behind the door and listen to the preparation. As soon as I heard someone coming downstairs, he immediately rushed upstairs to use the toilet. But there are no sounds in my head. He just can't bear it. Anna Marie had to open the door and go downstairs. He thought that there must be some solution below. I gently touched down the stairs. Just when I was about to go to the water top, he just heard the classroom door open. The old lady came out with relaxed, sleepy I say, "Yo miss, why did you get up so early?" "Hey, I'm really old and confused too. I haven't lighted the stove to boil water for you yet." I said, "Grandma, don't be busy, just want to pee." He said, "The toilet is in your aunt's back room. Go up yourself, Farwis. Wait until I button up my clothes, he'll go with you." He said. I didn't want to wake up my uncle and the others. "Is there anywhere downstairs?" The old lady thought for a long time. "Then it's just my urinal. If you don't mind being dear." T won't wait for him to finish. Barged into the back living room, went and found a urinal under his bed, squat on the ground and urinata. God, I don't know if I'm not skilled enough. Her is his urinal to full. Peeing on the floor. I'm anxious busy out and asked his grandma where is the dragging hand. Grandma said she was not busy. You've finished peeing, let's go upstairs and take a nap. I'll be there for the urinal. No, he doesn't understand. So anxious that I almost shed tears that morning. My aunt also woke up early for me. The old lady cooked the porridge for me. Andy must ask her to have a big bowl of meat nude. Leslie hurriedly stopped her and said, "Andy, if you are too polite to I can't live in it anymore. Just because I don't have any second relatives in Shanghai." Listen, Ed, then he said, "Oh, again and again. How polite is this, miss? It's rare for the eldest lady to come and stay for a few days. We really feel that we have neglected you." I have nothing to say. In the end, it was still up to them to buy big meat noodles. They also added some vegetables for me. During lunch he said, "Uncle, please tell your aunt don't be too polite. Otherwise, I would be really embarrassed to live here. I hope, Uncle, you won't be often datey. Think it would be best if I could pay you for some extra food." My aunt didn't even wait for me to finish. Then he shouted to the eldest lady repeatedly, "This is because we are afraid that we will be poor. We can't afford to supply you. You still think I'm not your biological auntie. I'm afraid I'm being careless or stingy." I'm so embarrassed that I can't say anything anymore while eating vegetables. I remembered that my lung disease has not yet recovered. It's best to ask the old lady to bring you an extra pair of chopsticks. Then I hurt myself even though I have lung disease. But I can't tell after you say it. It makes people hate you. Let's talk about it vaguely. Unexpectedly, I was halfway through eating. Uncle asked me a question. He don't have time to get tired of food. Eager to answer, just started calling me aunt. Said that she heard that the eldest lady Hottie vomited blood and am feeling better now, right? I feel ashamed when I hear Thoughty. Have no choice but to say it out of conscientiality. Recovered. Thank you, aunt. The doctor said it was bronchitis. It's definitely not lung disease. Uncle listened. He shook his head and said that it was necessary to be on guard. Your father died of lung disease. Your grandfather also vomited blood. You are a family with lung disease. I feel like I've been insulted. I really don't want to eat this meal. I think I have to go out for a walk in the afternoon. Otherwise, people will have to socialize all day long. I feel sorry for myself too. Hangoing Uti told my aunt that I wanted to find a friend. He definitely won't be back for dinner. Aunt, said eldest laddie, you feel upset's okay if you want to go out and have some fun. Be sure to come back for dinner. I'll invite you to watch a Shaoxing opera tonight. He declined again and Agan out of his house but don't know where to go. I don't want to see any of my friends. Painful people are not willing to be close to happy people. They comfort my. I just think what you said was sarcastic. Or maybe it's wrong. Or just scratching the surface. Even the pedestrians on the road. It also makes me disgusted when I see a voluptuous woman like a snake. It is walking around a hateful looking man. Shameless. There are also beautiful couples like Flower Sand sit on a tricyclefish and fish chatter endlessly. Also curse secretly in my heart for a while. Humph. What kind of hot wedding is this? The saying is true. No one is good for 1,000 days. Flowers are red for 100 days. Maybe you won't be here soon. You will get divorced like me. What kind of eternal oath? Isn't this just a piece of bullshit? In the end, it's never right. I feel like nothing is pleasing to my eyes. But I can't help but look at it. A person should walk with his eyes closed. But how can it be done? I just want a room of my own. Whether he is narrow, dark, or even dirty, it doesn't matter if I lock the door tightly, close the windows, and draw down the curtains. A dark roomie want to hide in the room alone. It's okay to mourn or cry even if you sneer, even if you pull your hair. It's okay to sit quietly and fantasize for a while. In short, no one interferes whether he is malicious, ridicule, or well-intentioned. Comforty don't even need it. I would rather live on a high mountain or the deepest bottom of the sea. Just want to be alone. I don't hear anyone's voice if it's Leslie and me. The world outside has nothing to do with me. The foolish thoughts of a dissatisfied person, but I'm still living under someone else's roof. At night's dinner, it's out of my own pocket. Eating a bowl of yonkin noodles outside counts. When going back, me uncle and aunt have already gone out to watch Shaoxing opera. Grandma can't go because she has to open the door for me. This caused my Aunt Bai to sacrifice 2 theater tickets. I don't know if he later returned it to the theater, or resell to others. If Nodi feels sorry for him even more. Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.